everybody, to the IOGC season opener here at Daytona on Forza 6. We have a field of 5 drivers because that's all who can make it, but we're going to be duking it out for 5 bonus points here as a kind of a test session to start out the season. I will personally leave the field to green, kind of out at random, but it still worked out. Did say I was first on the replay, even though I was on the outside lane. Bounty did get the jump here, coming in turn 1. He had pretty good restarts the entire race. The field was pretty separated for most of the race. We'd have either a front little group of 3 and a back group of 2 or vice versa. And it's just kind of a mix-up. But it was a good test. We got a lot of information, kind of learned how the new drafting system works on Forza. And we're really able to kind of, I was able to go on the attack and learned how to kind of manipulate the draft and kind of learn how the cars handle on these super speedways. So we are going to, I'm going to lead the first lap here in the IOGC for the season, which is kind of special, especially since this is my first attempt at really running the league all on my own. That I started from scratch, not kind of taking a base that maybe someone else has created and handed over or something like that. You'll notice on the cars here, obviously on Forza, we can make our own designs, which is nice. So I got to work pretty quickly on making Chase Elliott's patriotic national scheme that he will run later in the season. I believe it's in Kentucky, and then we have other various schemes that will be allowed here. So one of them, kind of for example, that I want to use though is Karma. He's running one of Matt Kendrick's old Home Depot Husky Dollar General cars. I'm fine with some bareback schemes. I'm fine with some older schemes. Just kind of going as it looks professional. I'm even fine with some custom schemes. Taking a look here at Sawtooth and Karma, this is kind of the separation I was talking about earlier. They kind of ended up falling back a little bit. We had a Chevy front 3 and a Toyota in the back there. Kind of fell a little bit off the pace, but they worked pretty well together. I think Sawtooth ended up bumping Karma a few times and got a little bit of cosmetic damage. We would run for them to play tracks, but if you wreck, it just takes forever to get back to the pits because you can't actually wreck out. You just have to crawl the car back to the pits. Decided just to stick with fuel and tires for this race. Probably what we're going to do with Daytona. It seems like it's working out pretty well, though. I like the system that Forza has for it. That's pretty nice. So I guess a few other noteworthy threats as well would probably be note that Bounty, who was here in this race, and one of our other racers, XP and Nightfox. We have some pretty solid guys in those two plate racers. They time their moves pretty well. Sometimes they'll have a peek to try to see if they can get it to stick. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But they're pretty aggressive, and they can keep the field moving around and keep the field kind of wondering where everybody's going to go without actually wrecking anybody. So we got a pretty good group of people here for the first season. I think we're going to have something around like 14 to 15 races overall in the season. A lot of road courses, but we do have incorporated a couple of Daytona races, a couple of Homestead races, Indianapolis, kind of all the tracks that are on Forza that were available that are in the real NASCAR season. We definitely fit those in there, I think even more than one time for just about all of them, especially the two ovals that are Daytona and Homestead. Even kind of found one track that I think is like Phoenix. It's one of the top gear layouts, but on the map it looks like Pocono, but it's so small and so flat that it's kind of basically exactly like racing Phoenix without that little bit of banking in the corners. So it worked out pretty well. We've kind of done some testing there, and we've done testing on a lot of the road courses, and I think the cars are going to be able to handle it just fine. We had to pick a few certain tracks that had more grip than those, but it all worked out alright. So we're coming here to lap 6, so we're just over a fifth of the way through the race. I'm still in the lead somehow. With Bounty here, but as you can see up from this onboard, Uncle Blake 88 and the 88 is kind of beginning to lose the draft from this point to, and unless we keep swerving and moving around up here, I really don't know that we can get it back. That is one thing that hasn't really changed about the draft mechanics from moving over from NASCAR to Forza, is that if you get far enough back that you start to lose the draft, it's going to be really hard to get it back. I don't mean a lot of commentary that's not really related directly to the race, but there's just a few things I guess that I want to talk about. A few things that need to be explained here since we haven't exactly started the real season yet with the Daytona 500 and such. So Karma and Sawtooth, like I said, they kind of fell back off the pace, but they stuck together, and so they're not like, you know, half a lap behind or anything. They're just kind of tandeming back there on their own. Things seem to be working out. Like I said, I think Sawtooth mentioned that he had ended up bumping Karma a couple times, so he kind of got some running games on that car. Preseason this onboard here, Uncle Blake decided that he was going to feel into the pits here. From his onboard, kind of see what it's like, so there's not really a way to measure pit speed. Nothing like that, so you just kind of have to drive it into pit road and hope you make it. So this is, I guess, will be our first pit stop of the season. I do like that you can view the onboard when they go into the pits. Obviously, there's no pit crew animation because Forza has not implicated that into the game, but I still like it because you can actually kind of see the cars going down pit road. You can also kind of see the race off the pit road when you have a caution. So it all worked out pretty well. So Blake's going to rejoin the track here. All by himself, since he kind of lost the draft anyways. He probably really didn't hurt his strategy. So I mean, yeah, the draft is important, but if you lose it initially, then you can make some different strategy calls that probably really won't hurt your race or could even end up helping you in the end. So I think we're gonna look back up here at me and Bounty. We are just hanging out all by ourselves up here, and we did a lot of this through most of the green flag runs of this initial race, but I don't think it's gonna shape out that way. We have about 10 or 11 people here on the Daytona weekend. We're gonna do traditional Daytona qualifying with single cars, and then we're gonna move to 2 separate duels. And then that'll end up, by the end of it, our whole field will be set for the 500. We're gonna try to get all that done in the same day, so hopefully everybody can make it through it. Looks like here on lap 10, Karma is gonna be the second one to head into the pits. He did head in by himself. So Sawtooth did not follow him in, even though they were drafting together. So Karma could come out back with Uncle Blake, or he could come out with Sawtooth, or he could just end up riding by himself. That's the only thing about pits too, is that if you were drafting versus if you aren't, there still could be separation if you don't pit at the same time. So it's probably best for everybody to pit together so that you can keep the draft, keep moving forward here. So now we're just taking a look at Sawtooth, kind of seeing how he's faring along without the draft. He's looking like he's got a pretty solid car. He's probably 3 or 4 seconds behind us. Looks like now he's going to go ahead 1 lap later after his drafting partner. He is going to head into the pits. And it looks like, okay, we got a caution out here on the track. I believe this happened between Uncle Blake and Karma because there is a glitch where if you bump draft somebody at a super speedway, you will get spun. This is a replay from Uncle Blake's car. Yeah, just gives Karma a tap going into the corner, hits the wall, loses his car, and will spin around to a slow stop on the apron. He'll get going again here. So, like I said, if we had damage on, I don't know that in that particular case they would have a bunch of damage, but you never know. So here, once again, using that nice pit road onboard there, the pit road replay. So I will win the win. Wow. I will win the race off of pit road, but I will not get the lead because Karma decided to stay out. We did have it mandatory on the settings where you had to make 1 pit stop or you would get disqualified from the race. Another useful setting for Forza. So Karma and so I guess it was the 20, the 78, and the 88 had all pitted. Me and the 41 had not pitted, so we decided to use that caution to pit so that we were good to go for the rest of the race if we had another caution. So we'll take a look here coming back to the green flag. Everything looked pretty good. Everything was solid. We didn't have any problems on the restarts. Surprisingly enough, even though we had a wreck right there with somebody bumping under the green flag, nobody actually, nobody ever hit anybody else on a restart. We had some passing done and some launching done. We got a little bit exciting or a little bit crazy, but there was no wrecks off of the restart, so that was a good sign, especially. I think there may have been 1 bump, which could be why Sawtooth was kind of held back there. So we'll look at Floyd from Karma here. Think about making a move right in the middle of the pack. He's going to try to peek to the outside there. That's one thing too, unless you have a lot of help in the draft, and even if you have help in the draft, it's really hard to pass around the outside in the corners. So unless you're going through the tri-oval or going on the backstretch, it is extremely difficult to pass unless you have a lot of help with you and nobody else who's willing to support the leader. So a lot of peeking is being done here, because while you can peek, you just have to time your move right or hope the other person messes up. Had a lot of swerving going on in the corner. It's kind of hard to hold a completely steady line, especially if you tap the apron. It's hard to kind of get loose. So, it is what it is. But overall, the handling, the physics, the mechanics, the graphics, this all makes for pretty solid plate racing. Kind of seems like we don't have any more mile and a halves or other tracks like that in NASCAR, but we still got a few. And it all turned out pretty well in the end. So, yeah, that was, just everything about it was pretty nice. So I'm also pretty happy too with this small group. We still made it 15 laps with only one caution. If we kind of would have, just a few things, just be a little more cautious, watch your lines, see where you come out of the pits. Simple things like that can be avoided, but it's racing and things happen all the time. So we're coming at lap 16 here. I'm still somehow in front of this race. It's once you get out front, it's really easy to stay out front and keep the low wing protected. Like I kind of said earlier, it's kind of hard to pass around the outside. So unless there's a big group for you and everybody decides to take to the outside and try to get around you, unless that happens, they're really not going to get around you, and they're going to have to stay up there for quite a while and make that draft work, because Forza has also implemented the side draft here. So, somebody trying to pass you on the outside, even if they have help, you can kind of pull up beside them and use that side draft and try to keep yourself even with them. And then, if you keep beside them so that they can't clear you going into the corner, then you've got another line that you got the line in the corner. So, over here to Sawtooth there, who was going into the pit lane, and it looks like we have another caution out on track. I believe, okay, I think it was the A-Wade again. Yeah, you see a car right there stopped right after the start-finish line. He actually lagged out of the race, but all we seen for a minute until he physically lagged out was just a car stopped on the track. And we kind of checked in, and Sawtooth said he pitted. The rest of us were out front there. So I kind of viewed his car, see what's going on there. He just disappears, he lags out. His car will still be sitting there for the rest of the race, even though it was not while we were racing. That's how it shows up on the replay. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know if there's a way to fix it. You can see they're under caution. We're trying to get slowed down, and Karma ends up losing the rear end of that car. So this is kind of a breather for everybody in the race, because we'd went a long time without a caution, which was good. But then we did have that caution. We kind of got up to speed. The mix is definitely a little different, but Sawtooth ended up getting stuck in the back again, and I think Bounty had a few issues there right before the caution came out, but I didn't really have any problems. I didn't get loose, didn't spin the tires on the restart or anything, so I decided to stay out under this caution, and it looked like even though Karma decided to stay out, even though he kind of went for a slide there in 3 and 4 right before that caution came out. So yeah, it was a good race overall. I'm just excited for the 500 and excited for the rest of the season. Got a good group of guys. Don't know what other games we're going to go to yet. Might try F1. Kind of thinking about it, but I don't know that it's the best idea at this point. So it looks like it's just going to be me and Karma up here side by side. Bounty's on the apron saving a little bit of fuel. And Sawtooth should catch up to us here momentarily, because I do believe we are going to go green at the end of this lap. Technically we could add a pace car, but there's not really a real point to it, I guess, unless somebody just wanted to do it. So while that would be actually really cool, we kind of dictate how fast we go under caution. I don't know, it'd be neat to do. I might check into it and see if anybody really wants to do it. Because actually there was somebody who was like joking about it, but then they kind of seemed serious at the same time. I don't know. Either way, pace car may or may not happen. Kind of difficult at some tracks, but definitely fun to do here at Daytona to keep everybody under the same speed. So we're gonna come back to green here, going into lap 19. So that'll put us with 6 laps to go. Yeah, 6 laps to go when we get to 19 here. It's a 25 lap shootout. And 5 bonus points, it's not really that much in the grand scheme of things because a lot of points are going to be given out for various things over the course of the season. But, it's a little start, just a kind of a little reward for saying, hey, thanks for showing up, even though the season hasn't really started yet. So, even though about half or a little under half of our guys showed up and we ended up with even less, with just the 4 of us there at the end. Still, it was more than like 1 guy or 2 guys just driving the car around, kind of still implemented a little bit more smaller pack racing, but you can kind of learn that. We're going to go green here. Oh, alright, so right here, have another caution just on the same lap that we went green here. And I believe I have an onboard replay from the hood of Bounty's car. And it looked to me on the replay that we just were racing pretty hard. He was trying to use the side draft. I was trying to use the side draft. We just got into each other going into turn 3. I think with that wreck, pretty much every single car has some sort of damage on it visually, so no car is going to leave the race unscathed with all the bumping that's been going on. You can see the damage to Karma's car, to Sawtooth's car, and then now there should be a little bit of damage to Moon Bounty. So fighting pretty hard for the lead, trying to get those bonus points, trying to get some bragging rights, trying to prove ourselves with these plate tracks, but still just a great race overall. Sometimes smaller is a little bit better in the grand scheme of things because you learn more testing with a small group than what you do trying to fight a whole big group. It's kind of the way I look at it sometimes. So yeah, another breather, but it's gonna put us into a 4 or 5 lap shootout here. So hopefully we can get the job done. Hopefully we can bring it home without another caution. With just 5 to go here. I didn't plan on pitting more than the 1 time that I had to. I think even after that spin, I don't believe anybody could do it. I believe we all just stayed out that lap and we're going to go green here at the end of this lap. So Karma, though, once Karma gets out front, he's got a strong car. He takes care of business. He gets the job done really solid, can hold his line well, and can work with other people well. So I think he'll be another strong contender for us to go up against here at Daytona. So I'm just excited for that race. I know I said it like a billion times, but it's just so much stuff going on all at once, getting everybody started, everybody in the right mood. I'm just looking forward to it. So we're back to green here. Closed up really tight on Karma. I thought about having a look down the inside. We didn't want to go on the apron. Bounty gets a really good restart from the back row. I believe he was the car in 4th. Had a little glitch there with the replay and it glitching out there. But yeah, so I had to refresh it. Bounty here coming off the 2 will have a pretty solid lead. One thing too about the draft is if somebody gets way out in front and you start to close on them really quickly, then your run will still kind of fizzle out once you get up to them there. So Bounty's had to move up high. Karma just went straight down the inside going into 3, and I was able to follow him before Bounty cleared us on lap 21 here. So we're coming here to lap 22 with so 4 to go here. It was a really good race. I think Sawtooth ended up kind of dropping back just again. Yeah, you get to even barely go out of the draft. So it was kind of me, Karma, and Bounty all battling for the same goal here, trying to get this race win. I closed up really tight to Karma here. Bounty was trying to close up to me. We were just staying so tight. I remember in this race that I was just like obviously I wasn't worried about a bubble because that's not in Forza, but I was just like, somebody's gonna end up bumping somebody on accident. Like I'm gonna end up bumping Karma and I'm gonna go straight back into Bounty. I'm like there'll be like 2 or 3 of us out of the 4 that are left, involved in the 1 wreck. Coming 3 to go here, 3 wide across the line. Karma ended up coming out of 4. I came across to Karma there, moved down the inside, get the lead going into turn 1. Bounty kind of fizzled out on the outside after they had a little door-to-door contact, so I'm going to take the lead again, coming off of turn 2. Karma will drop in at 2nd, Bounty drops back in at 3rd. Sawtooth makes up a little bit of ground in that mix-up, but he's still cannot quite just get up to the edge of the pack here. So, Karma drops back a little bit, thinking that he may try to make a move coming off of 4, but I stay really tight down on that yellow line and guard it. Bounty's trying to figure out how to get around Karma. Sawtooth's trying to figure out how to get up to the rest of the pack. The Uncle Blake's car sitting there. Like I said earlier, that car actually wasn't there for us. It was just there in the replay. There wasn't any way that I could fix it, that I could see, that I could find out. So here with 2 to go, coming off of turn 2, Bounty begins to fall back, and it looks like it's going to start to be a 2-car race for the race win. I'm in first, trying to hold off Karma. He had a quick car. It was a good race. I had fun doing it, even with a small group of people. So coming off of 4 here, coming to the white flag of the inaugural IOGC race, starting off the season 1 preseason. So on lap 25 here, white flag, coming into turn 1, really tight, close down from that yellow line. Don't want to give an inch, don't want to give any room for Karma. You can see him dropping back. He's going to try to get a run on the backstretch going into turn 3. I closed down so far on that yellow line down the backstretch. I don't want to give him any room. Obviously, he can't pass on the apron, so I'm just trying to protect it the whole time. 1, 3, and 4. He really hasn't made up a whole lot of ground ever since he dropped back a little bit, but he kind of begins to close coming out of turns 3 and 4. So coming off of 4, I'm going to come and lead us home here at Daytona. Karma will not have enough of the draft to make the move, and I will get the win here in the 5 bonus points at the initial IOGC race here at Daytona.